Today we're diving into 5 weirdest questions that start the question word when. The answers will shock to you. Number 1. When did the first human die? Number 2. When will the sun explode? Number 3. When did dinosaurs learn to fly? Number 4. When was the last time someone was executed by guillotine? Number 5. When will the world end? Now, we're diving into the answers of these questions. Question number 1. When did the first human die? The answer is not as simple as you might think. There is no definitive date for the origin of the human species, and different criteria can be used to define what constitutes a human. Some scientists consider the first human to be Homo habilis, who lived about 2.4 million years ago in Africa. Others argue that the first human was Homo erectus, who emerged about 1.8 million years ago, and was the first to use fire and migrate out of Africa. Still others claim that the first human was Homo sapiens, who evolved about 300,000 years ago, and had modern features such as a large brain and complex language. Depending on which definition you use, the first human death could have occurred anywhere between 2.4 million and 300,000 years ago. Question number 2. When will the sun explode? The answer is never. The sun is not massive enough to explode as a supernova, which is the fate of stars that are more than 8 times the mass of the sun. However, the sun will undergo dramatic changes in the future, as it ages and runs out of hydrogen fuel. In about 5 billion years, the sun will swell up to a red giant, engulfing Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth. Then, in about 10 billion years, the sun will shrink to a white dwarf, a dense remnant that will slowly cool down over trillions of years. Question number 3. When did dinosaurs learn to fly? The answer is never. Dinosaurs did not learn to fly, but some of them evolved into flying reptiles called pterosaurs, which are not considered true dinosaurs. Pterosaurs were the first vertebrates to achieve powered flight, and they lived from about 228 to 66 million years ago. Some of them were as large as a small plane, while others were as small as a sparrow. Pterosaurs had wings made of a thin membrane of skin stretched over a long finger on each hand. Question number 4. When was the last time someone was executed by guillotine? The answer is surprisingly recent. The guillotine was a device used for beheading people, and it was invented in France during the French Revolution in the late 18th century. It was considered a humane and efficient method of execution, and it was used for both common criminals and political enemies. The last person to be executed by guillotine in France was Hamida Jandoubi, a Tunisian immigrant who was convicted of torture and murder in 1977. He was guillotined on September 10, 1977, at Baumettes prison in Marseille. This was also the last execution in Western Europe. Question number 5. When will the world end? The answer is unknown. There are many theories and predictions about how and when the world will end, but none of them are certain or scientifically proven. Some of the possible scenarios include a nuclear war, a pandemic, a meteor impact, a supervolcano eruption, a rogue artificial intelligence, a zombie apocalypse, an alien invasion, a divine judgment, or a cosmic catastrophe. However, these are all speculative and hypothetical, and there is no way to know if or when any of them will happen. The only thing we can say for sure is that the world will not last forever, and that we should cherish our time on this planet while we can.